Hello, and welcome to the Temple Nightly News. My name is Ivan, and today our news teams have several interesting stories to share with you. Let's begin with Mary Jane at her business desk, who will tell us about how retailers are preparing for the upcoming holiday season. Mary Jane?
Thank you, Ivan. Dominating toy companies forecast strong holiday sales. Tariffs imposed by Donald Trump have huge impacts on toy giants, Mattel and Hasbro. But as the holiday season approaches, both companies anticipate a successful year-end. During the previous quarter, Mattel saw a 6% decline in sales worldwide, with North America leading with a 12% decrease, primarily because of the tariffs that President Trump imposed on important goods since the tariffs were first put in place. Many retail stores have delayed their holiday orders until they have had a chance to evaluate the effects. However, this fourth quarter has seen accelerating sales as retailers now rush to get toys in for the festive season. Hasbro's revenue climbed 8% despite having to raise the prices of their well-loved toys. Driving forces includes Peppa Pig, Marvel toy brands, and the Wizard of the Coast. Together with Mattel CEO Ian Cruz and Hasbro CEO Chris Cox, have emphasized the market for toys is still high, with iconic brands continuing to sell well. Additionally, Hasbro announced that it would be diversifying its supply chains from high-tariff countries. In a statement made by Hasbro, they explained by 2026, approximately 30% of the company's game revenue would be based in the U.S. Companies must find strategic solutions to turn tariffs to their advantage, not against them. Toy corporations like Hasbro and Mattel are preparing for the holiday despite having to face tariffs like many American businesses that are affected by trade dispute under Trump's administration. Many companies have been struggling ever since the tariffs hit. However, only some may be in a lucky position, like Mattel and Hasbro, where they are able to raise costs for their merchandise without losing customers. Back to you, Yvonne.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Now, it's over to Adrian with our science desk, who will share a story about quantum technology. Adrian?
Thank you, Ivan. Recently, researchers at Auburn University released findings of quantum electrons breakthrough, allowing precise control over these electrons with potential development of new quantum computing and catalysis. The member of research team at Auburn University Department of Physics developed a new material that allows precise control over these free electrons. Earlier types of electrons were unstable and hard to produce, but the Auburn research team overcame these challenges. This new class of materials often a solution to the long-standing challenges of controlling these electrons and electrodes. A quantum breakthrough have been discovered dating back to 19 when Max Patrick proposed a quantum theory today, where our physicists unveiled the first continuous operation quantum computing, quantum technology, and could make electronics 10 times faster with advanced AI features that could adapt like a human brain. Dr. Constantine, assistant professor of material engineers at Auburn, stated, "We're talking about technologies that could change challenges, the way we commute, and the way we malfunction. Quantum technology is not just for computers. It can also design new materials which can lead to medicine and more robust cybersecurity. Quantum computing can also say with high degrees precise acceleration that develop a new drugs treatment that can significantly speed up, improve medicine and learning, led to better AI systems." According to Dr. Melly Otis, assistant professor of chemistry at Auburn, by learning how to control these electrons, we can design materials that nature never intended. Back to you, Yvonne.
Thanks, Adrian. Now we turn to the world of entertainment. John Way has a story to share about a recent viral sensation. Over to you, John Way.
Thank you, Yvonne. A few weeks ago, from October 5th in Victoria, Australia, a man named Steve Lampo found his golden retriever giving a piggyback ride to a baby koala. It created a wholesome and entertaining moment caught on camera, showing friendship between two animals. Steve Lampo heard barking and a commotion in his backyard from his dogs. When he went out, he found his female golden retriever, Denny, with a baby koala clinging onto her back, giving a piggyback ride. Steve took pictures of the moment and posted them to Facebook, where commenters inferred that the koala mostly fell from a tree and that Denny went into her motherly instincts. Denny was seemingly proud and smiling, while the joy was like they were holding onto her on a motorcycle. Despite Denny and the baby koala having a fun time, the moment didn't last, and Steve had to remove the Joey so the actual mother could find them. The mother was able to find her child, and the Facebook posts were warming hearts and spreading joy across social media. Now back to you, Yvonne.
Thank you, John Boy. Now for some news from our own community. Juan Chow has a story about a man taking care of his neighborhood. Juan Chow?
Thank you, Yvonne. Recently, a man quit his job to clean up trash in LA last month, inspiring others to do the same. After he moved to Los Angeles a year ago, Juan Eduardo Lula noticed piles of garbage being left by people. Now, every day he picks up trash. Once people caught on to what he was doing, they started helping him with his dream to keep the neighborhood clean. Juan's work reflects a growing volunteer movement in Los Angeles, where residents are taking action to clean their neighborhoods among limited city sanitation services. Similar groups such as volunteer cleaning communities has mobilized thousands to address litter, legal dumping, and park maintenance across the city. Volunteers who join Juan's cleanup say they're inspired by his example on TikTok and Instagram, showing how social media could turn one person's effort into a citywide community movement. He grew in popularity and gained more than 50,000 followers on his social media. Every week, his followers would help him out with the trash, and the city is becoming more clean because of this one man. Back to you, Yvonne.
Thanks, Juan Chow. Now for some political news. Ashley will tell us about a recent nationwide protest. Tell us about it, Ashley.
Thank you, Yvonne. The President of America was called a dictator by people last week at Washington, D.C. because of Trump trying to change the continental map flights. Danny Baker goes to a No Kings protest and gets interviewed by Douglas Ism. Douglas Ism is at a No Kings protest to see how differently other people think. And while he got into a little argument with protester Emily Gibson 19. The story connects to when Donald Trump was deporting people. Danny Baker gives a first-hand view since he was the one interviewed about his experience. Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you, Ashley. Next, Gabriella will tell us about a recent event in the world of the arts. Over to you, Gabriella.
Thank you, Ivan. This October, people all the USA are united for the National Art and Humanities Month, a celebration that strengthens America. Give us a chance to learn more about it and allow us to tell America's story. Every October, Americans do a contest called National Art and Humanities Month that lasts until the end of the month. People do this to raise awareness as a moment of honor for those who have security and also for people to show their emotion through the art. Also, this is the annual largest celebration. People all around America, from education, veterans, artists, and just normal citizens, unite to celebrate this special month, making it the national largest annual celebration of art and cultures. This year, team reminds us that creative defend who we are as a nation, as well who we aspire to be. We, along with many others, are attempting to raise awareness of the celebration and it serves as a moment of honor for those who have security, strengthens democracy, values economy, and tells America's story. This yearly celebration also functions as a national storytelling campaign that invites America everywhere to show how the art and humanity have shaped their lives, communities, or identities. The celebration protects the National Endowment for the Art and National Endowment for the Humanities, which are currently under threat. Back to you, Ivan.
Thank you, Gabriella. Finally, Tenzin would like to share an interesting story related to the 7 habits. Tell us about it, Tenzin.
Thank you, Yvonne. Last week, 300,000 landmines were removed from Sri Lanka, which allowed 280,000 people to return to their homes. The landmines covered an area of 33% larger than Manhattan. The reason landmines covered the area was due to the island's civil war. And over time, they endangered the people of Sri Lanka. The presence of the landmines go all the way back since 2009, where the war ended. The Liberation Tigers of Tamil fought against the central government across the western and eastern provinces. The Halo Trust, a British nonprofit that clears landmines from areas with conflict occurred, was already working on removing the landmines. Over the years, the districts of Jaffna, Kilinochie, Militivu, Manor, and Vuvanoya People worked every day to remove mines to allow people to return to their homes. In a recent press release, the trust said that Halo and other demanding operators continued to work at a pace to clear the remaining contaminated areas to fully open up the pristine north of the island to tourists who flock to Sri Lanka every year, and netting the country more than $3 billion in 2024. After 16 long years, the trust recently announced that they have reached a milestone of 300,000 landmines removed. The 7 habits an important part in the story. They put first things first by removing the landmines and enabling people to return to their homes. A man named Vahuzan Anthony had this to say: "These minefields were laid when I was still in primary school. Halo Trust did the job no one else would do, as well as ending the danger that threatened the populace of Sri Lanka." The Halo Trust actions show responsibility and kindness, representing first things first. When we think of news, we usually think about the bad things in the world, like death or crime. But people never think about much as good news. Hopefully, as we move forward as a society, we can look more forward on positive news side of news. Thank you, Yvonne. Back to you.
Thank you, Tenzin. That concludes this edition of the Temple Nightly News. You can find more of these stories and many more in our TKN News blog. Until next time, stay strong, stay safe, and stay informed.